The Meg 2 is filled with tons of subtle Easter eggs from dozens of horror movies. Did you catch that sneaky foreshadowing in the finale? And did you know everyone was afraid for Jason Statham's life when he was doing all of his own stunts? That ski jet scene was just as dangerous as it looked. Let's get into it. There was a major plot point at the end of the movie that they alluded to in the very beginning. Leave your theories in the comments. Do you remember when Meiying was looking at the Meg through the glass and they shared a little moment together? Meiying asks,
"Do you miss your mom, Big Fish?"
This is essentially establishing a connection between the two of them. They have both lost their mothers and are both grieving loss in a different way. All of this comes into play once we reach the end of the film. We find out that the Meg is pregnant.
Still out there, maybe pregnant.
Preferably not.
And this could also be a major foreshadowing to the next installment. Could we possibly see Meiying become pregnant as their stories continue to intertwine over the years? Only time will tell. Jason Statham is a big fan of doing as many of his own stunts as physically possible. That remains true for this movie. The majority of the stunt work is all him. Even that insane jet ski chase was done completely without the help of a stuntman. The director, Ben Wheatley, was terrified at the speed Jason was going on the ski. He said, "We were all at the monitor saying, please come back all right." They also had him set up on a giant hand drill for those upside down shots. Apparently, it was because the physics of a face are really hard to fake. So, in every scene where Jason was shown upside down, they actually had to get him into that position somehow. They'd pull a trigger, spin him around, and blast water directly into his face. Just another casual day at the office. The Easter eggs in this movie are abundant. That Jurassic Park moment with the T-Rex was a brilliant chef's kiss when the Meg came up and devoured it. It was almost as if to say that there's a new, more vicious monster in the franchise of monster movies.
The Indominus Rex.
She will be 50 feet long when fully grown, bigger than the T-Rex.
One of the biggest films referenced in this movie is, no surprise here, Jaws. One of the most notable shots that pays homage to the iconic franchise is when the camera is inside the Meg's mouth as it bites down on the swimmers. It's a direct reference to the shot in Jaws 3 when the oceanographer, Philip Fitzroyce, got attacked and swallowed whole by the beast. If you thought I was gonna stop there, you were wrong. Let's talk about Pippin the Dog. That unlucky little Yorkie was shown in the finale of the first Meg film, barely surviving all of the chaos. Pippin also did make it to the end of Meg 2, getting caught up in all the chaos again, undoubtedly returning for Meg 3. What I'm actually getting at, though, is that dog's name is actually another Jaws reference. Right before Alex Kinter is attacked, a dog named Pippin, who is playing fetch in the water, disappears right before Alex meets his untimely end. It's such a deep cut, sentimental homage to reincarnate Pippin in all three Meg films. Let's hope the resilient Yorkie can make it through a third round of chaos.
Pippin! Pippin! Pippin!
There's a pivotal scene in the Meg 2 where Jonas bangs a helicopter blade against the water to lure the Meg over to him. And it's a light reference to when Brody does the same thing with an oar against an electric wire in Jaws 2. If you've seen Jaws 2, you know that the shark meets a pretty nasty end because of this. I definitely wouldn't recommend biting down on electrical wire in any way, shape, or form. So, when the Meg is lured over, Jonas holds up the helicopter blade and fatally impales the shark. The next shot we see is the shark's body floating down to the bottom of the ocean, which was the same type of shot used in Jaws, The Revenge, when Ellen, Brody's widow, spears the shark's head with a broken bowsprit from her boat. There's a major visual reference that's shown in the very beginning of the movie when Wu Jing's Jiuming is attempting to showcase how supposedly trained the Meg is by using a clicker to keep her from attacking him. Spoiler alert, it doesn't really work out as planned. She ends up charging forward at him and nearly crashing into a window. Luckily, he was pulled up just in the nick of time. The entire sequence is actually a callback to Jaws 3D's hilariously iconic glass smash shot. Now, I would definitely say that the Meg's special effects are miles ahead, naturally, so the scene's not necessarily as funny as in Jaws 3D, but I will always appreciate a reference to it in, any way. They did a full send with a major glass break scene, which is probably what Jaws 3D was trying to accomplish at the time. Now, if only we could get a callback to the shark explosion scene from Jaws 3D, maybe in Meg 3? The Meg 2 brings classic Jaws energy to life in a modern way while still keeping the audiences on their toes, with cinematic shots to the bottom of the ocean that brings you right back to Jaws, Revenge, the glass smash shot no one could ever forget from the iconic 1983 movie. Meg 2 doesn't miss a beat.